Hello, everybody. Are you guys ready for this weekend? That's the question. I'm getting ready to turn in for my day, and it's like after 1 a.m., and I'm about to retire for the day. Yikes. I just wanted to see if you guys are all ready because this is the big weekend. Did you go get your lamb? Have you purchased any of your products? Did you get everything that you needed? This is an unbelievable weekend that's coming up. It's ironic, not ironic, but I guess it's just the timing that our Passover celebration is falling on Easter this year, and that is something to something to talk about. I've got some family members who are getting prepared to get those Easter eggs out there, and then others of us that are like, no, 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 thank you. But the fun part of it is that we're going to be having a great time this weekend. We've already gotten our lamb. I hope you guys got yours. I know that Ronnie said that he had gotten his, and by the 10th, it was the 10th day. And I talked to Rachel. We spoke in text, and she said that she was getting hers on the 10th as well. So I'm not sure if everybody got their delicious, succulent lamb. Hope you didn't get too much because you got to eat it all that day. Hey, Betty R., how you doing? Girl, I am up. I'm like an insomniac right now, right? Because over the past few months, I've been going to bed on time, but I was working on a lot of stuff today. And so I'm just now getting ready to go to bed, but I want to check on everybody and see for those folks who are, privy to and who are going to do the Passover this weekend, if they got their lamb, or whatever it is that you do. But, because I know not everybody that comes to the channel, hey, Daryl, I know that not everybody that comes to the channel, is into doing things as far as you're nocturnal too, me too, into doing things that we are, but for the most part on the channel, we're pretty much all, really getting ready to have a good weekend. So no matter what you're doing, I hope you're having a good one. I hope you got plans to be with family and friends. If you're not doing Passover and maybe you're doing Easter. And so if you're doing whatever you're doing, I hope that you're getting prepared to be with your family and your loved ones and just really relax and enjoy yourselves. I know we're having lamb once upon a time on this coming weekend. We would have a bunch of eggs, of which, if you are doing some of them eggs, you might want to, I don't know, bless them, just bless them. Because of the whole bird thing, I just think, wow, the bird thing, that's amazing to me that they would just be coming out right about now. Well, you know what, Maureen? It's all good. You do what you can do. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You got to just do what you can do. And, I'm not a person that puts any undue pressure on people. I give folks, the information. I have guests like Ronnie that come on and share the information. And, it's my hope that everybody would get it. But I don't want anybody doing it if they don't clearly understand it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it used to be when we were when I was in Christian church, and they were like, do not take at that time, we called them the elements when I worked altar, but they used to call it the elements. Don't touch the elements if you do not understand, and that was right then, for the context in which they were saying, do not take the elements, the what is it, the juice and the crackers. Don't touch that if you don't understand what it is. And so that's the reason why I say, hey, until you come up to a point where you understand it all, then you do it. But you don't do stuff just to do it. You know what I mean? You got to have a good understanding. But for us this weekend, we are going to get down with that lamb and stick it on the grill. You got to burn it almost. I mean, it's got to be where you can't see any blood at all. And the bitter herbs and all that good stuff. And I'm not sure if any of you guys were here when Sonia Mann came in and she shared with us how she makes her unleavened bread. So that's going to be fun. I'm going to try that this weekend. But I'm going to tell you right now, if they don't come out good, they're going to be chucked. No, just joking. I just hope they come out good. Or I may just I think somebody was talking about pita bread. Just going to get some pita bread if it's not leavened. But anyway, I wanted to talk to you guys tonight to see exactly what you were doing and then see how everybody is, because so much going on right now. You just want to check on everybody. I did hear back from Amy Duran, who was asking all of us to keep her lifted up. And she is going, into the hospital. So please keep her in your thoughts and keep her lifted up and intercede on her behalf. She is such a sweetie pie. I'm not sure if anybody's had the opportunity to watch our, well, it was my favorite segment, but we had to stop doing it because it wasn't popular. It was my Friday night praise and worship testimony night. I used to love praise and testimony, and so I thought I'd bring it over here. Child, please, wasn't nobody. Hardly, just it was just me and Amy and Anthony Van Zant. He gave a beautiful testimony. He is a talented guitarist and a vocalist and a writer, and he's had an unbelievable life. And so he shared with us on one of the nights, but I wish I could bring it back. Praise and testimony was so fun. I really, really, really loved it. Yeah, yeah. So I don't know. You guys check that out. Go in there and look and see if you can find, which I know you can. It's under the playlist of the Saturday night or Friday night praise or something like that. I think that's what we named it. We just didn't get enough response for us to keep it. But anyway, yeah, just keep her lifted up. Keep her in your thoughts and your, and as you intercede for her. That's Amy Duran, and she's one of our sweet, dear mods, and just a sweet woman, just a really very nice lady. So anyway, you guys, I'm not gonna hold y'all long. I was just trying to check out and see who was up. I guess if we sit around a little bit longer, maybe we hit the 10-minute mark. What you guys say? We're gonna all be the Insomniac Club or the Nocturnal Club. That's what we're gonna be, Betty. We're gonna be the Nocturnal Club. We're all gonna be up. It's just gonna be you, Daryl Calhoun, and Maureen Olson, and me. That's it. That's all you need for a party. Yeah, that's all you need for a party. You just add you some lemonade and some iced tea, and you got a wang dang doodle. I tell you. And maybe some chicken wings, because you can't have all that sugar in those beverages without nothing to cut it. You need some salt. So, have you guys seen any amazing news? Listen, I was going through some news just now, and potluck dinner. Oh, that's so fun, especially if you've invited the people and asked them to bring their products. Oh my goodness. No, I'm here Central Time, Daryl. I'm in Alabama, but it's so good. You see what Betty says, that they're doing potluck, you guys. Don't you know that potluck is the best, especially when everybody brings their best item? You know what I'm saying? It's like if everybody brings their best item, you're going to eat really good. But if everybody start bringing stuff and they can't cook, you be like, girl, you didn't have to go through all this trouble. All you needed to do was bring the paper products. Oh, you didn't have to do that. All you had to do was bring this or that. Oh, you're in Cali. Oh, you're like my Bettina was. Nancy Morgan Hart, Bettina Brancato. She's from California. She was in California. Yeah, I was raised out there too. So, banding pilots. I was from Southern California when I lived out there. Born in Mississippi, but raised in Southern California. And so, yeah, that part. But, potlucks are fun, Betty R. What are you making? Or I should say, is it at your house? Are you the hostess? And maybe you're just making all the meats? Or how are you doing yours? Do people have to bring different items, or did you set up a menu, or are you just going to do one? That's good. It doesn't matter as long as you can take some food and put it in a Tupperware and take it to the house. 4 families, my children and their families. That is awesome. Okay, so your mama. So that means that more than likely, are you gonna provide all the meats? Do you have the meats, Betty R? Are you bringing the meats, and they're just going to bring the delicious sides, the green bean casserole and all of that deliciousness? Potato salad and all that good stuff. Not everybody can make potato salad, right? That's one of those items that I was saying, you want them to bring what they can bring. If they don't know how to cook, you automatically know, just give them the paper products. But right now, paper products might be a bit much, so tell them to go stop someplace and buy a green salad. You know what I mean? It's like you don't want to eat just everybody's food, but if they can throw down, let them throw down. That's the way I see it. If they can cook, let them bring it. You're going to suggest it to your friends. You see, ain't nothing wrong with that. You're doing the potato salad. That's funny. My mother used to make, my birth mother, she used to make her potato salad, but it was very yellow. And I didn't like a lot of mustard in my potato salad. And she would whip hers. Hers would be very like potatoey, but it had everything potato salad has it in it. I know a lot of people make that, but when I was coming up, I didn't like that. But what I did is made my own rendition of it, and it doesn't have as much mustard, but it's got some in there, but just not a lot. And I'm a weirdo because I love mustard. I love, the tart taste of like things like sauerkraut and mustard and all that. So I don't know why I didn't like it. And she would make her tuna salad like that too. Rest her sweet soul. But she could throw it out on everything else. And I would, wait a minute, let me shut up for a second because you guys need to understand something. I may not have liked her potato salad, but I ingested boatloads of it because she did not play that game. She was like, if she cooked it, oh yeah, you gonna eat this. That and what else? I didn't like the yellow tuna. I didn't like the yellow potato salad. But then I found a lot of people for taste. I found a lot of people in the South make theirs with that yellow color. Maureen Olson says, I used to make really great mac and cheese, but I haven't made it in years. Girl, it's like a bicycle. You can get on that bicycle, Maureen, and just go ahead and smash that macaroni around. You can mix that macaroni up real quick, sis. That's all you got to do. Just go ahead and mix it up, mix it up, mix it up. But a lot of people do a lot with their macaroni and cheese, I noticed. I don't know how many people are eating it this weekend, but, here in the chat, but I know a lot of people use it for holidays, especially, things like when I used to do Christmas, we used it. We made it. Thanksgiving, of course. And then also, obviously, this weekend. A lot of people are going to be doing it this weekend, macaroni and cheese. But a lot of people make it and they make it too busy. And it's such an easy thing to make. It really, really is. You just have to make sure that the consistency of the cheese, the creaminess, remains creamy without curdling when you're adding your cool with your warm products, right? So you don't want it to get all, eesh. You know what I'm saying? It'll taste all curdled, but you have a good flavor going, but it's just the curdle feel like fur in your mouth while you eat it. How do you know, Felicia? Well, because I've curdled a couple of pans. And I messed them up when family members, like my husband's sisters, were coming, and I was really nervous because they can throw down. Man, I messed around and curdled that cheese sauce that goes with that macaroni that I made homemade, and one sister-in-law sort of pulled me to the corner. Okay, so I'm going to tell you how to do this. I was like, okay. Even though I knew I was being respectful, I was like, okay, oh, that's how you do it. Okay, thank you. But you ain't got to do all that adding stuff to it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to add a lot of stuff to it. Someone used to say, I can get a man with that mac and cheese. Girl, why you stop making it? Oh, you got the man. You didn't have to make it no more. Well, I don't know. So anyway, you guys, I just want to know what everybody was doing. That's all. Betty says, when I make potato salad, I have to make at least 10 pounds. Wow. Oh, man. And that means you can throw down, Betty. But now, Betty, now that we over here in our house, we can talk, girl. You know what you said a couple of months ago. I told everybody, do not be, don't discount what Betty R is saying. Don't discount her. You wasn't wrong, Betty. You know what? I'm telling you, even if they come out again and say, oh no, that was not true, that didn't happen, and you see her pop up again, that ain't her. Because some people got doubles for you. Some people got doubles, triple fipples. They got all kinds of folks just hanging around that look like them. Okay? Oh, you said, no, I stopped because I didn't want to get a man. Maureen. Come on, Maureen. It's okay. They don't bite often. But if you got peace and you don't have one, honey, you don't have to rock the boat. Keep it the way it is. Trust and believe. I mean, because when you got one, you got to do a whole lot of stuff for them. And at a certain age, you start getting like, look, you got to have a 5-course meal. Again, didn't you just eat one yesterday? You'll be looking at them like, you hungry again? You want 5 courses, huh? Okay. And you could, if you're like me, I could just eat the sauerkraut and some dark bread and a little bit of cold cuts, and that's a dinner for me. I'd be satisfied with that. But now people want you to get in there, Maureen, and they want you to start clanking up the pots and pans and whipping out the good china and the silverware out the box, and you know what I'm saying, all of that. Who come on now, just eat. And then you look at them, you say, look at the palm of your hand. Look at the palm of your hand, homeboy. You can't eat more than that, so why you want all that food? Why do you want all of that? You cannot eat all of that. I'm saying it because that's the way that I see it. There. That's the way that I see it. You can't eat all that food, so why you want all that? That's how I be looking at it. I'm like, gee whiz, you got to eat again. You got to breathe again. You got to do all of this again. Y'all might think I'm crazy, but I'm serious. I'm like, oh no. I don't want to do all that. Maureen says, I've had issues with men. Got to pray that God will send me a good man when it's his time. Well, yeah, it does have to be his time. And then I think as women, just real talk, we have to make sure that we make it a hospitable environment for them to find us. You know what I mean? We have to make it a hospitable environment when we're not married. And, there's a possibility that maybe a guy might want to date us. I think we got to make ourselves, presentable or approachable. I think that's it. Because you know what? A lot of men are really, I think a lot of men are shy. I don't think a lot of men have the game that a lot of cats got. I think some of the cats that got game, those are the ones you got to watch out for. But I think a lot of men are just genuinely, I don't know. I just don't think of that, especially the nice, kind ones. I don't think that they're the pouncers. And I think a lot of women, they want the guy that pounces, hey, how's it going, sweetie? Well, what's your name? It must be Angel because you just flew from heaven or some cornball stuff like that. But I think a lot of guys just want somebody who's funny, who's respectable, clean woman, who can lift them up and who can be lifted up. Because a lot of women, if we've been through a lot of hurt, a lot of guys may say truthful things, and a lot of us can't take it. So a lot of us, oh, he's too nice. You get to those things, and it's a trip because now, all of the guys that every woman said was too nice is well sought after, and them engineers, them dudes is running. They're like, oh no, I don't want any of this. Let me get away from all of these women because they don't want to be, a lot of men don't like to be pursued. There are some that do, but there are some that don't. So for the most part, it's a double-edged sword. You know what I mean, Maureen? It's like a double-edged sword. It really is. Betty R says, my man ain't perfect, but he ain't no cheater. And that changed my life. Amen. Girl, let me tell you, that is a statement right there. He's not a cheater, and that changed my life. Not knowing your story, but just that sentence right there could sound, could be for a woman who had a man who was a cheater, and that's all she had to do was double check him, and it drove her crazy because she was feeling like, oh, I must be nuts because he's saying ain't nothing going on, but I sure am picking up something, but I must be tripping. I must be nuts. And so a lot of times when you finally do get somebody who is a good person, just a decent guy, you're happy. And that's good. That's a good feeling. That's a good feeling. It's a good feeling to know when you're, no, just joking. You guys know I'm telling you, I have insomnia. This is not a deep topic. This ain't nothing. I'm just chilling with friends. It's 3 of you guys. I can see the counter says 3 people. Plus me, that's 4. It's a party. That's a party. That's all you got to know is it's a party. Yes, I understand. I also know when it's time. Yes, God will send. Not that I want to get in your business, but are you less than 50? Maureen, are you less than 50? No, let me try this. Are you older than 25? that's safer than are you less than 50? Because you don't want nobody knowing that you know, I don't know. Yes, an honorable man. And that's it. He ain't got to make a whole lot of money because you know what? I know how to make some money. I can help you make some money. What do you do well? I can help you with that. You are more than 25 or less than 25. I forgot the question. But anyway, because I know I switched it. But I want to say this. You're absolutely right, Maureen. You have to be in the will of Yah. You have to be in his will. And a lot of times we have some things that we want to work out for ourselves. You know, maybe we've got a couple of goals that we want to accomplish before we add a spouse to that or allow ourselves to be found by a spouse. You know, maybe there's some great accomplishments that you want to do, or, you know, some thoughts that you've got that you want to try out for yourself. And you don't want to have anybody else involved in that. So you say, hey, you know what? I'm not ready yet. When y'all sends me somebody, when God sends me a man, I'll be ready for that. And I think that's noble. I think that's wise. That's wisdom. But again, once you get a certain age, honey, don't even worry about it. Because I'm telling you, as we get older, we see there's stuff that I'm like, goodness gracious, you got to eat again, huh? I will have made breakfast and, if I don't eat breakfast in the very beginning. I may have my cup of coffee in the morning. I may go through some news stories or whatever, but I'm not really a breakfast person per se. So I may eat breakfast. Maybe if I do, it'll be about 11 o'clock or so. And my husband will eat, and it'll be like, a decent sized breakfast. And 1 or 2 o'clock, I'm not even thinking about food. He's like, what are we eating for lunch? I'm like, yikes, you're hungry again? Or, what we're thinking about for dinner. I'm like, ooh, dinner, huh? As I gotten older, and this is like maybe within the last year, I'm like, wow, so good old crock pots keeps him from Mrs. Whipple's house, from the widow Whipple. Keep them crock pots clanking, baby. Because if you keep the crock pots clanking, he won't be at Mrs. Whipple's house. He'll be at the house where he's supposed to be. He will not be at Widow Whipple's. Okay? So you got to do that. So there are things that we have to do. So yeah, if you're not ready to be married right now, honey, leave that alone. Leave that alone. If a glass of white wine and some, Keebler elk crackers and, like I said, maybe, pâté de foie gras or something that you like is it, and you ain't willing to give that up right now, yeah, step slowly away from the grocery store and the high heel pump Jensen's. Put on your sweatpants and go to the grocery store. You remember when they were saying that was a place to meet men? Go to the grocery store. Dress up and go to the grocery store. Then you had nothing but a bunch of thoughts in the grocery store looking for men. They all got the good woman's secret. And if you make that macaroni as good as you make it, you definitely do not want to have on no heels at no grocery store. All right, you guys, it looks like all the insomniacs, it's all of us that's going to be here for now. Any questions? Y'all want to talk about anything specific before I bid you adieu and go to night? Go to night. Yeah, well, yeah, but Betty R, we got to keep up. You and me, we got to keep that because we know. Yes, we know. My dogs and me are good. Yes, doggies are so sweet. I love doggies. Maureen, if you know what? You should go get one of them doggy pet beds. Go get one of those pet beds. I'm sure they already got pet beds, but they got those pet beds over there. If you haven't looked already, they got those pet beds that you could get for a discount too over there with the Pillow Man, My Pillow guy. This is not an ad. I'm not running an ad, but I'm just letting you know if you want to get a pet bed, you can get one. I got a cute one I should show you. It's gray. But let's see. I met my man at the grocery store. That's funny. See, that's what they say. They say the good women find a good man at the grocery store. That's right. Good men and good women find each other at the grocery store. I heard about that. I know about that. I heard about it a long time ago, baby. Anyway, you guys, y'all go to sleep. Go to sleep. Go night. And get ready to have a good time this weekend. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever it is that you do. If you do, what we do, Passover, have a great Passover. If you do Easter, and that's what you do, and I love you anyway, do you and have a good time doing that. Let's see, I think it was from my last relationship, though. He was really nice. He was really abusive. He was nice in the beginning, right? Um, Honey, I know, I understand. Abuse is never nice. Abuse is never nice. And you know what? That goes to show that there's a lot of people out there that have a lot of pain in them, and they were raised wrong, or they viewed some stuff that they shouldn't have seen, or they were taught how not to respect the opposite sex, because there are some women, and I've done some stories about that here on the Lockhart Perspective, that will whoop the brakes off of a man, and they don't, people in society weren't looking at it the correct way. You know, they were just thinking that the woman is the only person who could be abused, but there were a lot of hurting and abused men. There are some people, you look at a man, you're looking at his 10 or 12-year-old self. A lot of times you're looking at a very gentle person, a very gentle soul that's broken. And so yes, abuse on any end is not good. But there are a lot of men that are abused, and I mean physically abused. And some women are just, I don't know how they attract the good guys, but maybe those girls that are sort of, the loud beater-uppers or whatever, maybe they were attracted to those kind of girls in school. Things really do, things that we do as adults really are stemmed from our childhood. And if you remember, for those of you who were with us today when we had Dr. B, so a lot of those things you have to undo. You got to go in when I minister to women and when I coach women, that's one of the things that I always let a woman know is there's a lot of things and a lot of people that we carry with us. And there have been some studies, there have been all kinds of things. Yeah, and they're usually the ones that's like that. Maureen, they're usually the ones that's like that. You find a lot of people who are like that. They don't get the help that they need when they're young. Some people don't even know how to go get help. But the one thing I tell young women is, if you have had abuse in your life, your personal life coming up, it is better for you. And I speak from experience, okay? Look here, most coaches, most people who have coaching credentials and all of that, we've been through some stuff for the most part. And what I will say is to younger women, if you have had a situation where you were ever abused in your younger life, and you hear me now, I recommend that you take some time to work on you and admit that you got some issues, first of all. If you find you can't get along with anybody, whether it be the opposite sex or friends, relationships, or you find you have a little edge to you and you don't know why, start to unravel some of that stuff so you can throw that baggage out and pack light. Yeah, you carrying all kinds of stuff around. There's some scientists or some science that have scientific studies that have shown that even women who've had multiple partners that they've laid with, that they carry those people with them. I'm not sure if anybody heard it, but that's on the top of the brain. They said they had done some autopsies, and they had scraped the top of the skull to test what it was, and they found that it was literally DNA from men. And I won't say what type of DNA, but it was just DNA from several different men. Well, this male DNA was the men that they had been with in their lifetime. And let me tell you, those little guys that swim, when they hit an egg, that one begins to fertilize, right? But the rest swim. According to the study, the rest continue to swim, and they stop up here. They stop up here. So our bodies are wonderfully and miraculously made, but Yah created us a certain way on purpose. There are certain things that we are to do and not to do, but they're not because he don't want us to have no fun. It's because he knows you get to going around and being with Bob and Tom and Sally. And hey, some of us don't know that when we're young. We got to get to that place where we know that, right? But this is just what the studies show. Whether we know it or not, this is what the studies say. That because of that, you're carrying male DNA. Something to consider. Something to consider. Yes, indeed. Let's see what we say here. Blessings to you and everyone. You as well, pretty lady. You met him at church. We just said how abusive they can be. My ex was abusing me, still dealing with it because of my children. The memories hurt. Yes. Were you with us today when we were with Dr. B? I think you were, right, Betty? I think you were. And the purpose for me asking the question was because I had gotten some emails from different people and I wanted to hear his perspective on it. But I tell you that when you have your children and they have been around situations where they have watched the abuse that mom will go through, the parents will go through, those children really suffer. Really, really suffer. They really do. And it is hard. And moms, we carry that pain with us. And that's what I was asking him about. Do the parasites attach themselves even more to people who've experienced, especially moms, who've experienced some type of heartbreak or, bad memories of what they could have done or what they should have done better. It is a terrible, terrible feeling when you watch your children act out as young adults and as adults, and you know that it is stemmed to the things that they saw and to the ways that you related to them based on the stress or the troubles that you had while they were coming up. And so we're going to I'm going to keep you in my thoughts. I'm going to intercede for you and anybody else who wants it as well. Let me know. But these are the times that we really do have to begin to unveil stuff, and we have to shed like an onion, just begin to peel back all those layers. Sometimes just saying, hey, you know what? Son, daughter, I wasn't the best to see the pain you were going through, or I didn't know how to protect you. I was going through a lot myself, or, I didn't know how bad this harmed you. And because you're talking a lot of times to that adult child and they're still 8. You're talking to that adult child and they are still the scolded, 10-year-old. But we don't equate that. We see bigger body. We think, okay, they got over it and we're okay. That was a hard time, but we're feeling like I got them out of that and we're better because of it. But we don't know the damage that's done while those children, have been around us watching certain things. So with all that said, you guys, I want you guys to have a great weekend. You, my dear Betty R., with the 4 families coming over this weekend, you make sure you tell me exactly how the food tasted and how everything went. The kids got hit by their father as well, shedding that onion, and they are healing. That's right. That is right. They have to, and it takes so much love. And let me tell you something. You have to spend a lot of time interceding for your family, and you have to spend a lot of time reading the word and just trying to be as patient as you can, because it takes a lot of you to help to heal them, because only you and whomever else was present when they went through everything they went through. And so it does take a lot of you. So you got to be prayed up. You've got to have your armor on. In love, you have to love them, but it takes a lot, because see, you're not only helping them, but as you're helping them, you're going through the memories of the stuff that you experienced or watched them go through. And if you deal with the past like that, because we have to sometimes, it can definitely come into the now, because the thought process brings everything that you dealt with right into the now. And when that happens, you'll find yourself exhausted, you'll find yourself tired, you'll find yourself agitated, and you don't know why. It's because you begin to unearth things. Listen, try to write your life story. Start from your earliest memory, write it down on a piece of paper, and watch and see, don't you stop in the middle. You will stop. You will start to write, and you'll get to a point where things hurt you, and you'll put that paper down. Why? Because you begin to relive those feelings right then. And that's why I'm saying you can only really deal with the past with the help of Yah. That's the only way you're going to do it. And it's not easy. But if you want it, and you can take it in small bites and small morsels and baby steps, then you have the greater chance over the long run, over the long haul. You have a greater chance to heal, and you have a greater chance to see your family heal. So great success to you and to your children as they go through this process. And that part. All right, you guys, remember what we always say on all the Felicia Lockhart Group publications, and that is that man shall not, no matter what he tries to do. Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out of the mouth of the Most High Yah. You guys take care of yourselves first, and then take care of everybody else. And until we see each other again, please continue to be blessed. Black God perspective.